loud. Okay, go live. And we are live. Good morning, Real Closers. Good morning. Roberto Salas from Real Closers and Marcus Willard from Street Text today.
Good
And
morning.
every Wednesday,
Hello.
8:30.
Oh, that was the background noise. Someone said hello.
All right, cool. All right, so today's a very special day for two reasons. So May the 4th be with you if you guys are into Star Wars. And today we're actually recording this session today. We're actually recording this live. So we are going to launch our YouTube channel today. So our Real Closers YouTube channel, I'll be posting the link in the comments, and maybe I'll make a post so you guys can subscribe to it. Going forward, every live we do, either Wednesdays, Mondays, or every meeting we have, we're going to be uploading those to our YouTube channel. So support the channel,
Congratulations.
support the group. Yeah. So yeah, we're trying to, cover as many platforms as we can. So, Facebook, we got Facebook and now YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. And we hope the members support the channel. So, all right. So with that said, so today we're going to talk about tools, integrations that you must have in order to start converting more seller leads. We've talked about lead generation for the past few weeks. What tools are you guys using right now to convert more seller leads, Marcus? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, great question. And when I'm talking about seller leads, I'm focusing top of funnel. I'm focusing on Facebook and Instagram. So really get into that framework of understanding that these are people, again, if you're here for the first time and you're like, well, what is specifically a seller lead and how do they come to me? Well, it begins by having the understanding of the seller. And if you go into the seller's mindset right now, when they're on Facebook, they're not there looking for your services. Okay. So the first thing I always have people do when they're trying to figure out what this kind of looks and feels like is just click on their Facebook app. You know, and the first thing you usually seem to be doing is click on the app and then you go straight into the notifications, right? We like to lick that little red bell. Hey, what do we got? Who's liked things? Who's commented on things? That's usually where everybody starts, and then usually from their messenger, they want to see if they have any messages. But then they just go to the home and start scrolling. Just like if I start scrolling right now, I could actually see our video, right? That's like the first thing that came up. And as I start scrolling, that right there is where your opportunity lies. Okay. Now, there's the organic presence of you just being in front of your friends. That's one thing. But when you pay Facebook or Instagram, there are 11 different marketing objectives. The objective that we use that's been the best objective over the last 6 years is something called a conversion objective. Now, it's because it's not like a lead ad. A Facebook lead ad captures the name, phone number, and email up front. You click on that particular ad up front, the name, phone number, and email is collected. This one's entirely different, and I'll show you quickly what that looks like, because if I'm going to be talking about the must-have integrations, this will help frame everything in for you. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick share of my screen, just so I can give you a heads up on what I'm talking about here. So if I share here, let me know if everybody can see it once I do share. Can you see? I'll stop one more time. Can you see the share here? Google Chrome.
I was able to
Yeah,
see that.
Roberto? Yeah? Perfect. Okay, so again, going through the mindset of, scrolling down your feed, you got to put something in front of them that feels organic and native to that particular area. I'm going to show you a few examples, but this is one that seems to be hitting the home run, and it has hit a home run for the last 6 years. The combination of the map, because people use Google Maps, people use maps all day to go places. So they don't even think of it in terms of anything but their area, especially if you zoom into that particular area that you're interested in finding sellers in. So it's really a great understanding that she's combined the map element with particular price points that she's most interested in. So there's some psychological things happening there. You're number one, you're focusing on a price point and area that you really want. Homeowners in that area are going to really want to know what their home's worth, especially if they're looking at 1.39, 1.99. You know the psychology there, right? The understanding of that, Roberto. So as I scroll there and click, this in itself is the important opportunity. So I'm going to show you what they click into. And this in itself, this Linnea Carver Group link that I have here, and then if you look at the ad itself, Linnea Carver Group, that in itself is huge because you have to have a domain registered to be able to run these type of ads. Whereas if you were doing a lead ad and capturing that name, phone number, and email up front, you wouldn't need that. It would be a different workaround around that. But with sellers, the beautiful aspect of this type of ad is that it's very high in integrity. Enter your address, receive your home value. When people read that, what's your home really worth? Enter your address to receive your home value. It says everything in that moment. They get it, they click on it, and then when they click on that in that moment, again, congruency between the ad image into the landing page. This is happening on their phone. They click analyze my property, and that in itself is a process that you make really easy for them. So when someone goes in and clicks that right there, boom, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Because what you're going to experience with an ad like this is that anywhere from 60% of the time of that click, someone's going to put in their address. Now I'll stop right there for a moment because that in itself is a wonderful thing to consider. If you have done any Facebook marketing yourself and understand the Facebook marketing world, if you're sitting anywhere in that 5 to 9 percentile of click to contact ratios, you're actually considered a pretty badass marketer. But we just created a solution that 10x that. So that's huge because, well, how would I know that? Well, if I go to this little button, funnels, in my particular area, what you'll see is that we've got what I've called the Netflix of funnel and ad templates. And this is the program StreetText, but I'm using the What's Your Home Really Worth ad, which is right here. And so when I hover my mouse over that, I can see there's 18,466 people who have tested it this last month, and the click to contact ratio is 60% on that. So what that tells me is that if I have a good cost per click profile, which is what I'm paying Facebook for, then I'm getting leads. And naturally, it shows you the average cost per lead is $268 across North America, right? So it's a beautiful model that's easy to build. And it's so simple. You know, again, when you understand this kind of idea, you're like, okay, well, what's organic and native to my market area? Well, that comes down to knowing it's not just a map. There's a lot of different ways. And if anybody's familiar with Canva, you can build things all day. Here's Bonnie Lake welcomes you. There's the lake itself, a nice road that goes into the mountain. That is the kind of thing that hits the home run. So again, I'm saying all this because if you begin here, it's all about the understanding of how do you get seller leads. Number one, Facebook and Instagram, 70% of it comes down to number one, first and foremost, the image you're putting in front of them. And then it comes down to understanding a little bit more about the split test, which when I you know, you got to also understand what Linnea did here that was pretty cool is that she know Bonnie Lake is her market area. So you got to understand the targeting of Facebook. 15 miles is the minimum radius. So if I move this around, I can move this anywhere. And if I'm out, guys, and the beauty behind this is if I'm out on the coastline, let's just say I'm way out here, I can hack it a little bit and capture only a portion of the coast because the fish don't bite in the water. So if you think about yourself on the coastal lines, but once you get it, once you solidify that, you lock into this longitude, latitude, you click next, and then you split test the audiences. You can do 5 at a time, but it's kind of a gamified way of sitting at the blackjack table if you're in Vegas and saying, you know what, I want a 21. How am I going to do that? Well, the more hands you play, the more likely you are to get it. So you're playing 3 to 5 hands for the first 48 hours, the same ad, the same image, the same targeting, nothing changes, it's the same cost. The only thing that's different is who Facebook puts this in front of. And then if I A/B test it, then I would just say, you know what, I'm going to try this Bonnie Lake picture versus this picture here. That's called an A/B test. 2 different images, same text copy. So that's the power of lead gen. Once you figure that thing out, then it's just a matter of following the equation. And this is where the integration becomes massive, because if you think of the world of Facebook and Instagram and digital door knocking, and I click next here, well, I've just provided my email. And in that moment, what's happening in the background is I'm getting an automatic email, and you can delay this. Like, this is beautiful about this one. There's a 9-month long drip email campaign that deploys, and most of your guys' CRM does stuff like this. You just go to learn how to do this. This is a direct integration that we have inside of that with BombBomb, right? And so BombBomb is my number one integration, because in this day and age that we live in, if you're practicing something like that ad where we're again talking about what's my home really worth, I, as a consumer or a homeowner, am not looking at that tiny picture of Linnea in the corner. I'm scrolling down my feed. I see something. It catches my eye. I'm like, ooh, what's my home really worth? You know, because I know the market's crazy. So I'm like, I want to know. My neighbor's been selling. This person has been talking about it. Da 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 da. You know, interest rates. I hear, you know, whatever that is. They're hearing things. So they want to know what their home is actually worth. And they click on it, and then that process begins. And then it's all about them going back to their email and seeing something that looks like this. This is the authentic, genuine connection. Because otherwise, and if I didn't have that video in there, most likely I'm unsubscribing, or I'm you know, maybe very lucky getting a response if I'm very eager to know, but I'm probably quite disappointed thinking I was getting an automation or an automatic home value. So that will be a key in that understanding, number one. And so I'll just play you just a quick idea of what that might look like, or what that might feel like for that person as they go back to their email.
You are looking for your home value, and I am on it. My name is Linnea Carver, and before I get started, I wanted to check and see if there are any improvements that you've made to your home or to the property, any upgrades that I can't see online. If so, just reply to this email with any of the details. It will be important to know those to ensure that the report I'm working on for you is a fair assessment. If you want to get to know me, just follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. The links are below. So anyway, I'm going to get to work. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.
So, and it's powerful because, you know, what will happen here is some people will respond, some people won't. Linnea perfectly knows that. She has these emails day 4 set up with a video. She's got these emails day 7 where she talks about the value of community, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. She's got videos built in for the entire 9-month long sequence. So she knows it's the long game. But if they respond to her, she'll do something that's custom to them. If they don't respond to her, the next integration that works so well that we have and that we talk about with everybody for sellers is this little button here, HomeBot. And so they click on this button, it adds them to their HomeBot. And the HomeBot, if anybody knows, it's kind of like a home value digest that sends an algorithm, basically from Black Knight data. But it also shows them their mortgage, their equity, Airbnb scenarios. And most importantly, you can go in there and tune their market value. And also what I love much about it, it's very inexpensive. Number one, BombBomb's only $1 a day at the most basic subscription, so like $29 a month. HomeBot, same type of thing. So for people that are trying to figure out where are they supposed to be putting their marketing money, well, you want to put it where the ROI potential is massively high. So you've got these perfect seller integrations that, when combined, one other thing I should add, and I know Roberto is probably eager to be asking me something here. The one thing that I would say you combine is, a lot of people don't know if they get a preferred lender with HomeBot, it opens up the video integration as well. And BombBomb and HomeBot have a direct integration, but you can only open that up with a preferred lender. And all of a sudden, you've got all these videos going out with the HomeBot report that are helping those people learn that they can tune their market value if they have any questions about it. And it gives you such great opens. And every time someone's in there and interacting in it, you get a notification, which is all you could ever ask for, because that clues you in on the follow-up. So I would say those two, and then, you know, you hit the third with the remarketing and retargeting, and all of a sudden you got the best plan for the least amount of money possible as you develop, develop this Facebook lead generation solution over the next few years. This is the ticket for you.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So a quick recap. If you are doing Facebook lead ads, like Marcus mentioned, lead ads, you can only capture full name, email, email, phone number, and full name. You cannot capture the address, is against the rules of lead ads. So the way you kind of work around that is you capture that data up front, and then you send them to a landing page, kind of like what you saw here. The issue that you see with that is, yes, you capture data, but you get more people who are, I guess, and qualified. You have to play. It's a testing game, right?
Yes, I would say you got to play, because guess what? I didn't finish the funnel. What happens is you have a high percentage of people that leave their address, and the next percentage of those people, about a half to a third, will give their email. And then, you play the percentages game. A lot of people go in here and say, new kitchen updates, da 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 da. Their sell date, right? A lot of people will just say just curious. It's a defense mechanism. You got to learn what just curious means. You go find out by having a great conversation with them, asking the right questions, winning friends and influencing people, using video, really genuinely learning to educate and help people and serve people, not sell them on anything. That's going to be your ticket with these type of leads. And then when they click next, this is where they can put in their phone number. That would activate a AI text message response. And that in itself is a whole nother conversation. But that says, send me my value. They can even set another appointment. But again, it's a dynamic funnel set up this way because you're going to play all of the different leads you have. We have a whole entire mastermind where we talk about address onlys and all the cool things you can do with those. Mailers is the obvious, but there's a lot of trace systems. There's a lot of things that find more information, Popeyes, all that stuff. And then with the emails, that's the really most important part, because that opens you up to BombBomb, the automations, as well as the HomeBot integration.
All right, cool. So basically, if you're doing lead ads, try to switch it out a bit into an actual conversion ad. The funnel that you have set up right there, it's really, really great, because it's like a 3-4 different stage funnel. And one of the things that you talked about is email integration, right? So being able to communicate with that person through email. So that's second tool. Text, if they give you their phone number, that's another tool. Text messaging. Speed to lead, it allows you to, automating the process allows you to get that speed to lead. Video integration, BombBomb is really great. I've used it. I know a lot of people have used it very successfully. We had a campaign going. We tried, just a quick text message. Thank you for clicking on my ad. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And then we added video, and man, the response rate increased like 10-20%. So definitely video, another cool integration. So BombBomb is really great. If you're not using it, check it out. And hint, you talked about HomeBot, right? Preferred lender. We had a live Monday where we talked about how to get lenders to work. Actually, that was last week. How do we get lenders to work with more realtors, right? So if you're not into, look into HomeBot, and then when you talk to your realtors, offer that as an option. So a great way to get that, get through the door. A lot of integrations, sounds like a lot of work, but if you are looking for sellers, if you are looking for listings, and again, this is not something where you're going to start and get listings right away. It happens, it's not average, it happens. But if you're looking to get listings within the next 6 to 12 months, this is what you have to start doing now. You need to start looking at, your business and how it's going to evolve, so that you can get started with more and more deals within the next 6 to 12 months. If you're not willing to do all this, you're gonna stay behind.
I was gonna say, Roberto, this is not that, when you think about your marketing plan for a year, you could easily put $5 to $6 grand aside, and that combines all these integrations, the Facebook ad marketing, the ads, the setup, everything, the scripts, the strategies, the coaching, all of this. I mean, can you imagine the ROI potential? But a lot of people are not patient enough, So yeah, there is a little bit of a learning process, but if you're eager to be a social influencer, if you're eager to be a trendsetter, to be ahead of the game, that's a massive payoff. I mean, I've seen people at this point who got started early about 5 years ago, and they've done hundreds of deals this way. Hundreds. Usually you'll start seeing some really good traction, at least conversations in that first 90 days. And then those deals kind of start coming in a few at a time. And then post 6 months, it really gets exciting.
That's usually what I've seen. That's usually what I've seen. Once you get that first deal, the people that you started in the database 6 months ago start closing now. Month 7, people that you got in the database in month 2 start closing, and it's just a chain reaction, right? And it just depends on how you're gonna get busy, right? So now you need to start to scale. You need to start figuring out systems, right?
Right.
Automated systems. It's
Right,
tough.
and which is so important. Why you spend so much time in those first few months building out those automations to really feel authentic and genuine and about service and value and really getting to know you, the person, not just you, the real estate agent. I think there's a big missing opportunity there for people that are able to blend their personality and what makes them themselves and fun with how they are as a professional as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know what we should do, Marcus? See if we can get people here who are actually running Facebook ads
Yeah,
and tell us their stories, because I still see a lot of people saying that Facebook ads don't work, and a couple reasons, right, why they don't work for you. One, you weren't patient enough, and two, most of the time you did not set those up correctly. You cannot just boost a post for 2, 3, 4, 6 months. You could. I've seen it happen too, right? But it's not the average. But if you're expecting to close deals and get really serious into Facebook ads, you cannot just boost the post and expect results. And if you do that and don't get results, don't blame Facebook ads not working, right?
yes, yes. I have a lot of people in mind that I could help bring on. Look, Linnea being one of them. Obviously, we just talked with her. Great thing about her is that she first was a lender before she got into real estate, and then she did some awesome, amazing coaching by Krista Mayshore through video marketing, and she did a whole year with that. And then she jumps into our platform with that background. It was just that set her way above everybody else as she started creating. And she's a high C, if you know the disc profile.
Yeah.
She's a high C, so she creates systems, and I love it when people create systems that way because it's measurable.
Yeah, let's see if we can get her on. She can talk a little bit about video. I know a lot of members here are pushing that now. A lot of people are using social media, video, TikTok, Instagram, right? That's where, if you want to take it to the next level, that's where it's at. And if you can
100%.
integrate all that into your lead generation, you're gonna get, the more success you're gonna get. All right, so hey, thanks a lot, Marcus. Again, we're here every Wednesday, 8:30. And today, this video is actually going to go into our YouTube channel. So if you got this far, I'll post the link. I'll create another post once the video is up. So support the channel. And yeah, we'll see you again next Wednesday at 8:30. Coffee for closing.
Congratulations on your first YouTube video.
All right, man. Awesome. Thank
Good.
you so much for being with us today. I'll talk to you later.
Pleasure. Cheers.